Good morning and welcome to another session, an exciting session of Cooking with Clive. Well, we're actually going to bake this morning. Cold winter's morning in July, threats of a cold front sweeping up with rain and snow, but it's quite cozy over here. I think it's time for a little music. Oh, I was going to put a nice album by the Seekers on. I've got Blossom Dairy.
You are the summer.
I think we'll leave her. One of the greatest ladies in jazz. Unfortunately, she died 2 years ago. But I digress. Let me get on with it. In this recipe, it's a simple bread recipe I got from my daughters, Carey and Meg. 4 cups of cake flour, or preferably white bread flour, but I don't have too much of that left. So I'll bung in what little I have, and then make up the difference with cake flour. There we go, about a cup. Another 3 cake flour, 2, 3. Comes out pretty much like a ciabatta. Quick, swift. In the meantime, I'll put in a teaspoonful of yeast. Into a mug full of water, to a mug of lukewarm water, just to feed the yeast. Give it a stir. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. Add a little olive oil. Very extravagant, but this is actually something that gives quite a nice flavour. I make half my mix just a plain ciabatta bread and the other savoury ciabatta with pesto and olives, and that's absolutely scrumptious. But you'll have noticed it's definitely quiet in here. I think it's time for a bit more music. Put a bit of the Seekers on, seeming green. Right, this is just about done. All I have to do now is mix in my yeast and sugar. It's been rising a little. Look at that, it's actually quite a loose mix. Make sure I get all the flour into it. Now I'll go and put this in the warm high-felt sunshine. I'm going to put this out in the warm high-felt sunshine, although it's not that warm today, I can tell you. Leave it for an hour or 2. Just retrieved it from outside after about 2.5 hours. It's risen beautifully, almost taking up the entire bowl. And now I'm going to just knead it a little. Put a bit of flour here. Right. Right, now the secret is not to work it too much, else you lose all the air that's entrained. And you don't get ciabatta bread or slipper bread, as the Italians call it. You probably get something like pick and pay bread. I mean, Paul Hollywood wouldn't admire my style too much. He's one of the best bread bakers in the world. Okay, that's about it. Now I'm going to make About a third will be my special savoury loaf. I'll plonk it back in the bowl for a sec. Take my baking tray, sprinkle it liberally with a bit of bread flour, the little that's left. Right. A little bit of coarse pink Himalayan salt. Drizzle of olive oil. My savoury bits, I'm going to chop up a few olives. This is a pesto I made up with basil, pecan nuts, and a little Parmesan cheese. I got the basil from Howard and Astrid and I added a bit of my own. A good teaspoonful into the bowl. And now I'll just try and work that into my, I think it's starting to look quite good. Bit of a sticky mess unfortunately, but that's it. Yeah. Okay. Drizzle of olive oil. Right, now plonk this in a preheated oven at 180 degrees. Camera please, Clive. 180 degrees for about 30 minutes. Me again. Ingrid suggested while I'm waiting for the bread to bake, I should do my crumpets in a jab trap. It's an Afrikaans expression for very quickly. Right, I've put an egg in there already. I add milk, about so much. Splash of cooking oil. Well, that was quite a bit, but anyway, it'll be okay. Dash of vanilla essence. Teaspoon of salt. Sip of coffee. Let's see if I've forgotten anything. No, I think that's it. Now I put in baking flour, this cake flour. You can put self-raising, but this is just the only one I've got. And it's about so much. I just do this by judging it. I know how thick the mixture should be. Right. A couple of teaspoons of baking powder. It's about right. And now I use my fancy machine. You see this little thing? It spins like crazy. Mix, 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 mix. I bought this at Stevens in Manukau. I think that's about right now. And plunk our crumpets in. And more. Well, I reckon the bread's ready. It's about 40 minutes. Let's take it out and see what it looks like. There we go. Not a bad little batch for a quick meal. That's some quince jelly and some of my homemade lemon curd in the striped bottle. Oh, it looks pretty good. Nice and crispy. Well, if I price the flour at about 5 Rand, the yeast at a Rand for bits and pieces, it comes to 7 Rand or 70 cents New Zealand dollars.
For me till we meet again.
So, until we meet again, this is Cooking with Clive saying goodbye.